Well, it's legislation aimed at protecting Indiana farmers, but opponents say the constitutional amendment would actually do more harm than good.
News 18's Samantha Tiki has more on a proposed constitutional amendment called the Right to Farm and Ranch Amendment.
Republican State Senator Brent Steele says the goal of his constitutional right to farm and ranch amendment is simple.
What I'm trying to do is protect the family farm.
The resolution authored by Steele says it will guarantee the right of the people of Indiana to engage in diverse farming and ranching practices. But the Hoosier Environmental Council's Amanda Shepard says the amendment would also protect industrial farms, including confined animal feeding operations.
If the CAFOs are polluting or are bad actors in the industry, it might disturb or otherwise damage the property of these small farmers.
CAFOs have to follow regulations put in place by the Indiana Department of Environmental Management and the Indiana State Board of Animal Health. Steele says the purpose of the amendment is to protect small farming operations from being affected by unnecessary regulation.
I'm trying to protect the small farmer from the unreasonable regulation that might be a knee-jerk reaction to the CAFO.
But Shepard says protecting the small farmer would give even more protection to a large industrial farm.
It would make it much harder to regulate them because then we have this burden of proving that what they're doing is infringing upon other constitutional rights.
Shepard says she has not seen any farmers in support of the amendment, but she says there have been many farmers who have testified in opposition.
These large farms will be able to use these large practices and crank out as much meat as possible at an accelerated rate, and I think it would actually make it harder for the small farmer to stay in business.
However, Steele stands firm in his belief that giving more rights to every farm is what's best for every farmer.
But what this is saying is that if the state is going to regulate it, it has to be reasonable. You can't just regulate for the sake of regulating people out of business.
The amendment's next step is the Senate floor, but it will need to be passed 2 consecutive years before it can go to voters. That vote would take place as early as 2018. Samantha Tiki, News 18.